Good evening, it's Salam Keluarga Malaysia. You're watching News at 10. I'm Jessica Lee. Making the headlines tonight, Raya Exodus on full throttle today. BKM appeal applications to be open for a month. Now, more than 2 million vehicles estimated to be on the North-South Expressway or NSE today, compared to the 1.98 million vehicles recorded yesterday, as the Hari Raya Aidilfitri exodus kicks in. The increased vehicles on the expressway were attributed to the government's decision to offer free tolls on all highways owned by Kumpulan Plus Malaysia Berhad or Plus, which came into force at midnight. Plus Head of Operational Excellence, Muhammad Yusof Abdul Aziz, said they estimated at over 2 million vehicles on the road heading north and south from the federal capital starting midnight last night to midnight today. Traffic congestion was also reported on several stretches along the Plus Highway because of an increase in the number of vehicles today. According to Muhammad Yusof, many took the opportunity to return to their hometowns following the free toll offer given by the government on all Plus highways. He said Plus estimated that over 700,000 vehicles have used the Plus highway to travel north and down south from midnight until noon today. Muhammad Yusof added that the figures are expected to continue to rise as Hari Raya Aidilfitri is now approaching. Now, earlier checked by RTM along several major roads and highways in the northern, southern, eastern and central regions with the PDRM Air Operations Force or PGU this morning saw no traffic congestion at main exit roads and toll plazas. PGU officer in charge of the air patrol units involved in Ops Selamat in the southern region, ACP Juliana Jamak, said there was no extraordinary congestion at the Sungai Besi Toll Plaza heading towards Tangkak, Johor. However, she said movement of vehicles along the Rembau route was a bit slow due to a minor accident involving two cars.
Kita lihat sehari dua ni mungkin akan berlaku kesesakan pada keadaan peak hours, mungkin sebelah petang dan juga malam kita jangkakan. Rakyat Malaysia sangat menurut peraturan iaitu undang-undang kita terapkan. Kalau kita lihat tadi memang tiada memotong di garisan kecemasan dan sebagainya.
While there were 20 Now, at KL Central today, RTM found that a total of 168,067 train tickets have been sold under Electric Train Service or ETS, ETS Tambahan, Kereta Api Tanah Melayu or KTM Intercity, and Express Khas Keluarga Malaysia from the 23rd of April until the 8th of May. Now, this is a significant increase in the number of passengers compared to the last 2 years that was affected due to the pandemic at that time. KTMB is also providing 32 ETS services per day for all routes from Gemas to Padang Besar, while there were 22 services for the KTM Intercity for routes from Gemas to Tumpat and Johor Bahru. In total, KTMB offered 238,700 tickets for the ETS and KTM Intercity services from the 23rd of April to the 8th of May. Now, due to high demand, KTMB also provided 2 additional ETS services with 4,410 tickets for the KL Central Padang Besar route and vice versa for 29th of April to 2nd of May and 6th to the 8th of May. When met by RTM, the majority of commuters say they chose the electric train service as it is convenient, especially in avoiding balik kampung traffic along the country's major highways.
Obviously lah mesti nak elak jam kan. Jam lagipun saya balik jauh utara Perlis. So usually kalau tak jam pun it's gonna take like 8 jam kan. Kalau jam lagi lah it's up to 14 jam boleh jadi. So untuk elak semua tu baik menggunakan pengangkutan awam lah ETS.
Kalau time peak season hari perayaan ni belah utara pun dah start jam. Sebab last few years 14 jam, so 15 jam. So tahun ni kita orang decide untuk naik ETS lah. So lebih mudah, jimat masa, sampai cepat.
Saya rasa pengguna awam terutama ETS banyak menjimatkan masa dan saya dah terkena banyak kali 4-15 jam. So saya rasa this is pilihan yang terbaik lah untuk family saya.
Owing to heavy passenger traffic, KTMB also advised commuters to go to their station of departure at least an hour earlier. Now, the appeal period for applications for Bantuan Keluarga Malaysia, or BKM, will be open on the 2nd of May for 1 month to help those who did not gain approval in the initial applications. Now, according to Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz, the appeal time period was opened up because the government is aware that there are still those who are eligible to receive BKM but are not registered in the government system. The appeal process is also to ensure that the aid is truly distributed to those in need. Applications can be made by preparing the appeal and all relevant documents for a re-examination by the Inland Revenue Board, or LHDN. Appeal applications could be submitted online through the LHDN BKM 2022 official portal, as shown on the screen. On the other hand, manual submission of the BKM 2022 appeal forms can be made at nearby LHDN branch offices, satellite offices, Revenue Service Centres (PKH), as well as LHDN Urban Transformation Centres. To date, almost 2 billion ringgit in the first phase of BKM has been channeled to about 9 million B40 group recipients nationwide last March. Payments for phase 2 of the initiative amounting to 1.1 billion ringgit will be made in June. The government remains committed towards ensuring that all allocated aid will properly reach those in need to ensure the collective well-being of Keluarga Malaysia. Now, the government has decided not to allow any economic sector or type of employment to delay implementation of the 2022 Minimum Wage Order, or PGM. Human Resources Minister Datuk Sri M. Saravanan said the minimum wage of 1,500 ringgit has been officially gazetted and will be in effect starting tomorrow, which is also Labour Day. The government had provided assistance to employers through the COVID-19 assistance package, such as the wage subsidy program, which had helped in sustaining businesses and safeguarding employment. This is also to ensure that employees benefit from the increase in the minimum wage. Datuk Sri Saravanan said the decision on the minimum wage was appropriate to ensure the welfare of workers, especially those with low income, while employers would also benefit from the increase in consumer purchasing power. The government also expects the increase in the minimum wage to have a positive impact on the country, employers and employees, which will help accelerate the country's economic recovery. For an employer who employs 5 or more employees, or an employer who carries out professional activities classified under the Malaysian Standard Classification of Occupations 2020, the minimum wage rate is effective from tomorrow. Meanwhile, for employers who employ less than 5 workers, the minimum wage of 1,500 ringgit will start on the 1st of January 2023. The Di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Bilal Shah and Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Aziza Amina Maimuna Iskandaria expressed their condolences to the family members of former Defence Minister Tengku Tan Sri Ahmad Ritaudin Tengku Ismail, who passed away yesterday. Now, the King and Queen also hope that they will be strong and resilient in facing the loss. Their Majesty stated their heartfelt appreciation towards the services of the late Tengku Tan Sri Ahmad Ritaudin for the country. He was once appointed as the Special Functions Minister to assist Tun Abdul Razak in the Foreign Ministry in 1973 before becoming the Minister of Information and Special Functions in 1974. Tengku Tan Sri Ahmad Ritaudin was also a former Kelantan UMNO chairman and in his lifetime was also appointed as the Pro-Chancellor for University Kebangsaan Malaysia UKM in 1992. He also had the opportunity to contribute to the local sports scene as the Vice President of the Football Association of Malaysia FAM in 1988. Tengku Tan Sri Ahmad Ritaudin passed away of old age in his home at Jalan Duta yesterday at 8:43 p.m. last night at the age of 94. Now, any modifications to personal vehicles using beacon or strobe lights must first be approved by the Road Transport Department or JPJ. Its Director General, Datuk Zailani Hashim, informed that failure to do so will result in strict legal repercussions. He further explained that only official department vehicles involved in emergency operations and tasks are allowed to make the aforementioned modifications. This includes the likes of ambulances, vehicles belonging to the Fire and Rescue Department, Customs, Police, as well as JPJ. Furthermore, vehicles equipped with the modifications are allowed to receive special priority over other vehicles on the road when their strobe lights are turned on. Personal vehicles are also not allowed to use or equip two-tone car horns in their daily usage. Datuk Zailani was commenting on a video which went viral on social media showing a Toyota Velfire using strobe lights and blaring its horn, forcing other road users to make way. The owner of the vehicle has been identified and legal action will be swiftly taken. Now, a total of 20,000 chickens priced as low as RM5 each are on offer at the Shawwal Fair Prizes Sale Program at Padang Astaka, Sungai Besar, Selangor, beginning today until tomorrow. Now, speaking to reporters, Minister of Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives, Tan Sri Nur Omar, said other than chicken, the program is also offering beef for as low as RM30 per kilogram and other essential items.
Dolar murah ni akan bermula hari ini dan sampai besok, di mana di antara barang yang dijual yang mendapat sambutan daripada rakyat ialah ayam. Ayam kita jual 1 ekor RM5 saja, tapi maksimum tak boleh lebih 2 ekor lah satu orang. Ini hari ini kita jual 10,000 ekor, besok kita akan jual 10,000 ekor lagi. Jadi semua 20,000 ekor.
In addition, he said Angkatan Koperasi Kebangsaan Malaysia Berhad or Angkasa is also selling essential items including cooking oil, rice and sugar for as low as RM2 per pack. Tan Sri Nur hoped that the 2-day program would be able to ease the burden of the people, especially the B40 group, and help them to make preparations for Aidilfitri. The ties between Malaysia and Singapore will not be affected following the case involving Nagendran Dharmalingam, the Malaysian who was executed in Changi Prison last Wednesday. He was found guilty of smuggling drugs into the Republic 13 years ago. Foreign Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Abdullah said Malaysia fully respects the law of Singapore. He explained that it was not the first occurrence involving a Malaysian who was executed in Singapore. The Malaysian government has tried its best to obtain pardon for Nagendran. Datuk Sri Saifuddin said he has sent a letter to his counterpart in Singapore regarding the matter, which was also done by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob towards the Singaporean Prime Minister. Even the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Bilal Shah had sent a letter to the Singaporean President. On the final week before the execution, the Prime Minister and Datuk Sri Saifuddin once again sent a letter to the Republic with a prisoner exchange suggestion. Now, both letters were well responded by the Singaporean government, despite the suggestion being rejected. First up is badminton. It was a double joy for Malaysia in the Badminton Asian Championships when both Li Zijia as well as Aaron Chia and So Wei Yik beat their respective opponents and stormed into the finals in Manila today. The 7th-ranked Zijia ended the gallant run of China's Wing Hong Yang with a 21-11, 21-19 win in 39 minutes. The 24-year-old Zijia, who demolished Kanta Tsuneyama of Japan 21-13, 21-11 in just 36 minutes in the quarterfinals yesterday, raised his way to 14-5 in less than 10 minutes. He then dropped a few points before taking a commanding lead after 17 minutes at 18-9 and going on to wrap up the first game against the world number 81 at 21-11 in less than 20 minutes. Now, it was a slow start in the second game for Zijia, where he trailed 4-2 after a few minutes, took control of the game soon after, and led 11-10 during the changeover. Zijia finally wrapped up the match by winning the second game 21-19 to set up a final with Indonesia's Asian Games gold medalist Jonathan Christie. Meanwhile, national number 1 men's doubles pair Aaron Chia and So Wee Yik upstage high-flying compatriots Goh Zifei and Nur Izzuddin Rumsani in the semi-finals. The world number 9, Aaron and Wee Yik, justified their ranking as they only needed 29 minutes to dispatch their 16th ranked compatriots 21-13, 21-15. In a title decider, they will meet Indonesia's Pramudia Kusuma Wardana and Yeremia Rambitan, who beat their compatriots Fajar Alfian and Rian Ardianto in the semi-finals. In football news, Johor Darul Takzim or JDT opened a new chapter for Malaysian football after becoming the first local club to advance into the knockout stage of the Asian Football Confederation or AFC Champions League after beating Ulsan Hyundai FC 2-1 at Sultan Ibrahim Stadium this evening. Hosts JDT took only 5 minutes to blaze ahead thanks to a free kick by Leandro Velasquez after Bergson da Silva was brought down by Won Du-jae. Benjamin Mora's men did not have time to celebrate, however, as the South Koreans replied almost immediately a minute after, equalizing through an effort by Jun Amano. The home team managed to find the back of the net again in the 24th minute, but Fernando Forestri's goal was ruled out for being offside. Both teams then struggled to break the tie with the pressure building as the match progressed, but all attempts came to naught. Finally, through a stroke of luck, JDT was gifted the win at the very last minute of the match when South Korean midfielder Park Yong-woo ended up scoring an own goal while trying to block a cross by Arif Aiman Hanapi. Terengganu FC or TFC head coach Nafuzi Zain praised the high fighting spirit shown by his men in their first round match of the FA Cup against Negeri Sembilan FC or NSFC at the Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin Stadium last night. The 44-year-old coach said all his players had given their all to enable the Turtles to secure a 2-1 win over the visitors, thus qualifying for the second round of the FA Cup this season. In fact, he said the performance of his young players in the squad was getting better as they were able to absorb the pressure in the high-intensity match against seasoned coach Kay Devon's side, who have imported and local players of caliber this season. Now, during the match, the home side took the lead in the 28th minute due to an error by NSFC's import defender Hero Gulon, which saw him push the ball into his own goal to the cheer of almost 6,000 home fans. However, the joy of the home team was short-lived as Kay Devon's squad scored the equaliser in the 35th minute. Now, taken aback by the goal, TFC turned up the pressure and managed to score the second goal in the 38th minute through Pulau Pinang-born Faisal Halim, who is also a national player. The score remained at 2-1 until the final whistle. With a victory, TFC are scheduled to meet Kedah FC in the second round of the FA Cup, which is expected to take place next June. In international football, Kylian Mbappe scored a brace as newly crowned Ligue A champions Paris Saint-Germain were held to a 3-3 draw at Racing Strasbourg in a spectacular encounter early today. Now, PSG, who claimed a record-equaling 10th top-flight title last weekend, had to share the points after Anthony Cauchy's strike gave the hosts a last-gasp equaliser in stoppage time. The hosts went ahead after only 3 minutes.
Why do we tell you stories?
Relevant,
New,
efficient,
accurate.
reliable. We bring you extraordinary stories from around the world, from politicians, bankers, and even your favorite celebrities. This and many more on RTM's English News.
And that's it for this evening. In our top story, riot exodus on full throttle today. Join me again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Jessica Lee. Salam keluarga Malaysia and good night.